In this section, we will move to one of the fundamental concepts in object-oriented programming, which is the inheritance. Let's try to motivate the reason behind inheritance. There are things, when you think of them, you can easily observe that there is something common between them, but there is also something unique in that. For example, let's say we are modeling a system that involves teachers and students. There are many classes, such as student and teacher, in this system. I would like you to take a moment and think about the following. What could be the common attributes and methods between student and teacher classes? What might be unique attributes and methods for each one of them? And any critical observation, take a minute to think about an attribute or a method for these two classes. Let's proceed. One might try to develop a class like that, the following for the student. Maybe it has a name, email, and address. We have a national ID. As a student, you have some year that you started studying your system. There is also a GPA for you, and probably there are a bunch of courses in this system. There might be also like maybe we need some method for validating the email, would like some method to adding a grade, and so on. There are a bunch of mistakes here. This code doesn't compile. And for the teacher, we can have something also like name and email and address and national ID. We have the first year where this guy started employment. We have his current salary, teaching courses. We might also need to validate the email address of this teacher. And we would like to add a course to his teaching courses. Now, I would like to consider here what might be common and what might be different. We can observe easily, for example, that both of them has a name and an email address. Both of them have a method like isValidEmail, but they also have unique things. I have the courses that I'm going to teach, but I have the courses that I have studied. I would like to add a grade for me. I would like to add a course for me as a teacher. So there is something common and there is something unique. And the clear problem here that we can see is easily the duplication. You have duplication in the attributes, you have duplications in the methods, and as a rule, the more code you write, the more bugs you will have. In programming, we like this concept that we call dry. Dry means don't repeat yourself. Whenever you find yourself repeating something in code, it means if you have a bug or a mistake in one of the code blocks, you have to fix it in every copy paste of these code blocks. So how to solve this problem? This is where the inheritance comes to help us. Before that, I would like to stress again on the common unique thing through what we call is-a relationship. The is-a relationship is a very common analogy that we can find easily. Student is a person, teacher is a person, dean is a person. Given that all of them are persons, it means that they must have common attributes and methods. But also, as they are different, student, teacher, and dean are different things, so they also have unique attributes and methods. Let's see more example. Circle is a shape, but also rectangle is a shape. Triangle is a shape. Shapes should have something common. For example, the color of the shape may be a method to compute the area of the shape. The details of the area method for every one of them is different, but still all of them share a method for an area computation. Software engineer is an employee. Manager is an employee. Office boy is an employee. Given that all of them are employees, they should have some salaries, they should have some starting date, and so on. But still, a software engineer is something so different from an office boy. Apple is a fruit, orange is a fruit, watermelon is a fruit, wagon, bicycle, motor vehicle, all of them are vehicle. So as you see, the is-a relationship is something that is so fundamental in our life. You can even think that the is-a relationship could easily create a hierarchy, and this is something very important. So let's think about that. You can say that the person can be either a student or employee. The student can be undergrad or graduate. The graduate might be master or doctoral or has no more degrees. The employee can be a faculty or a staff. Okay, this is now a top-down view. You can also think in the opposite direction. For example, the graduate is a student, the student is a person. Okay, so you see, you can think bottom up or top down. The point here is that the is-a relationship even can be extended in a hierarchy, and even can be more complicated than that. Going back to the student and teacher issue, how can we solve the problem of duplication, which we know that it involves this is-a relationship, which behind the scene means there is something common and something unique. We do that through inheritance, which allow us to reuse the code. In the next lesson, we will start to know about the syntax of inheritance and how exactly does it help to solve this problem. That's all.